Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a safe trip.
Bye, thank you. And we are off. Officially on our trip across the Atlantic. As ready as we're ever going to be. How do you feel?
Now I feel quite excited and awesome. Like it's so many things that are just coming true all at once. So
Yay.
I'm very happy. Coming up here is the divide of ocean and ICW water with the outgoing tide. And you can see they do not mix. It's pretty cool. So the ICW water is green and brown, and the ocean is deep blue. Oh, see if you can capture that side. It's like epic.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is ocean sailing. You get the sails up, you get them trimmed, set the wind steering, and Wendy's gonna steer us across the ocean. So we just sit back and make sure that she's on course. That's it. So we are currently 2,700 miles away from the Azores.
2,700. Wow. Day 1. Today I walked to the bow of the boat and looked forward. Forward was east. The ocean stretched out in front of us like an infinite blue blanket being shaken over a bed, billowing and settling into place and then billowing again. And the reality set in that we weren't going to stop until we got to the other side. That was a new feeling. I let it rise from my stomach to my head to make peace with it. And I looked back at our beautiful boat and all of her red sails pulled taut, and Frank and Herbie were sitting in the cockpit tossing peanut shells over the side. And I knew that we could do it, that we would be fine.
Unit, weather facts, or HF facts.
This is how we will be getting our weather from now on. Besides the fact that some of you have wonderfully and helpfully decided to keep us updated, but
thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
So, what we do, we have our little Texan PL660 single sideband receiver, and we set it up onto the weatherfax signal. So we're receiving a signal that's broadcasting out of New Orleans, and then we put a little external microphone right in front of its speaker and plug that into the iPad, and that gives us a weatherfax. So it prints the map of the region of interest, and it shows you all the pressures and wind barbs, and pretty much it's a meteorological map, and it prints it onto the screen of the iPad instead of onto a page.
So what can we see from the map that printed just now?
So what we can see is we're right off Florida. This little squiggly thing is the Bahamas, and this is the 1020 line, which is what we're aiming for. So it's pretty much telling us, keep going, you're almost there.
So it is, the sun is setting and it's almost dark, which means that we're going to reef down for the night. And I think tonight our sail plan is just going to be our mainsail with 2 reefs and our staysail. And the reason we reef down at night is so that the person who's on watch, if an unexpected squall comes, they don't have to wrestle with the sails all by themselves, and that can be a very stressful situation. It's morning and it is time to go full sail once again.
Set up a barber haul system. That way the staysail, instead of being kind of twisted, is sheeted more towards the rail and then it's flatter. So it presents more surface area of the sail and a flatter sail to the downwind course. So it's really good for picking up a little bit of extra speed without having to change your sails. The other nice thing about it is it keeps the sail from kind of flopping around. So the whole issue is when you're going downwind, you ease the sheets and then the top of the sail twists and then spills all the wind out. So if you have a barber haul, you can still sheet the sail properly, just more outboard.
It's a beautiful morning and we have to start eating these vegetables that we got so that they don't go bad. So I am making avocado wraps for breakfast. The winds are light, so we are going to put up Dill, our drifter, and see if we can get a few extra knots with him. He's a really awesome, beautiful sail. So Dill is a drifter sail, which is a lot like a spinnaker. Basically, the only difference is that drifters are stayed. So it's just like a spinnaker in that it's a super giant light air sail and it'll give us some knots. Now he's full. Look at that beautiful sail.
Monty's hired has been squeaking as we raise it, so I'm gonna open this up and grease this winch again. Because it's dry. Mission accomplished. The winds today are super light, so we're just flying Dill, which is our big drifter. It's great for this light air because he weighs nothing, so he'll fill up and catch the slightest zephyr and pull us along. So we're doing about 2 to 3 knots, which is pretty slow, but when you figure there's no wind, it's pretty good. Looking off into the horizon, there's some big systems over there. So when we get there, then we'll have plenty of wind. So it's just a matter of making the distance to get there. It's just been so awesome. It's so relaxing. Like we're out here, you don't see any land, but you do see on the clouds towards the Bahamas, you see the turquoise, so you know there's shallow water there. So there's like hints that land is around you, but all the way around you, all you see is just ocean. I honestly don't know how it's going to affect me mentally because I do quite well being alone. I'm an introvert, so being alone to me is quite comforting. I don't know how they're going to do either because Maddie and Frank are extroverts. Thankfully, they have each other to keep them company. But it's just really awesome to be out here and to just experience just the sheer size of this earth, because there's nothing like it. I mean, you can look at a map and you can fly across the ocean on a plane and it's a couple hours and you're there, but there's something about spending weeks at sea just seeing this magnificent ocean that's stretched out in front of us. It just puts a whole nother perspective on the world we live in.
Having some celebratory grapes because today has been not as exciting as yesterday, in that it has been very, very slow with no wind. So we've had a drifter up all day, and we just finally got wind. We got Monty up, so we've got 2 big old sails carrying us, and we've got we're making some knots, which is awesome. So, yay!
The sun's going down, and I'm waiting for the weather facts to start up, but pretty much it's been really calm, and there's a low pressure coming in behind us. It's coming in really slowly and gradually, so tonight we're probably going to be full sail all night as this winds very slowly build. When people picture sailing across an ocean, they probably just think of going out for days and days and sailing for a really long time until you get to your next stop. But the truth is, ocean sailing is just fixing your boat across the ocean. Stuff is going to break, stuff is going to wear out, and you're going to need to know how to fix it. And you're going to need to have spares in place ready to go. So last night, our stern light just went out. It stopped working. And it's night, and there's ships behind us, and they don't know we're there because we don't have a stern light. So thankfully we have the masthead one. So we turned on that one, that way they'd see a stern light. And now with daylight, I'm gone in, looked. The issue is really simple. It corroded here. That's it. So we're just gonna cut this off and splice in a new one. Once again, we have a functioning stern light. So tonight will be legal and safe.
It has been a very slow start. This is day 4. Last night on my watch we were going 0 knots for most of it. And so the wind steering wasn't working, so I actually used the stars to make sure that we were still on course, but we were barely moving anyway. So the winds have picked up a little bit today. I'm really hoping for something better. We are close reaching, so I've woken everybody up because it's time to take down Dill and get up all of our sails to try to make some miles today.
There's a knot in the downhaul.
A knot in the downhaul?
Yeah, I saw it going up.
Oh, it's on that side. There's a knot in the downhaul on your side of the sail.
for us. Once we get out past the shelf and the water drops off, the current, at that point the currents go kind of like squirrely, like they just go randomly all over the ocean.
We finally got some wind. We're full sail, moving along. The winds are very weird for us right now. We're having to go south, which we really weren't expecting, but we're just kind of chasing the 10-20 line of pressure so that we can get a nice push across the ocean from the westerlies. So a little bit frustrating right now because it's not doing what it's supposed to do, but we're still just trucking along and we'll probably still make good time.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.
And if you'd like to follow our journey in real time on a map, receive postcards from our ports of call, and message us directly to the boat, you can go ahead and become a patron using the link in the description down below.